And there's nothing you can do about it. Give me your name and badge number. Get back. Stop that music. I'm in a public place. I can film whatever I can see. Photography is not a crime. Photography is not a crime. Photography is not a crime.
I'd like to welcome you to the John Ligato Show. I'm John Ligato.
Here's Johnny.
Am I being detained? Am I being detained or am I free to go? Am I being detained?
You have an ID on.
Am I being detained?
A great auditor myth will be busted today. Investigative detention.
First, let me introduce you to an auditor, the owner of the YouTube channel LAC Audit. We'll refer to him as Mr. LAC from now on. On February 11th, 2024, Mr. LAC was unreasonably stopped.
This narrator is attempting to sound like an unbiased news reporter, but beware of his biased words, because Mr. LAC wasn't just stopped, but unreasonably stopped.
Mr. LAC was unreasonably stopped and harassed.
Now he's being harassed. Well, you be the judge.
And harassed by 3 police officers, 2 squad cars, and a helicopter just because of a simple call from Karen during the daytime in Cumberland County, Vineland, New Jersey. At that time, Karen called the police due to a no parking order and suspicion of Mr. LAC's suspicious activities. Immediately, Officer McGee of the Vineland Police Department approached and harassed Mr. LAC, questioning him. Officer McGee stated they received a 911 call from a concerned citizen because they saw Mr. LAC parked on the side of the road for an extended period. Mr. LAC argued that under the Fifth Amendment, he would remain silent to any questions or accusations from Officer McGee.
You know, Officer McGee wasn't just trolling the road looking for parked cars. He was responding to a 911 call. Let me repeat that, an emergency call. But according to our narrator, Officer McGee at this point was unreasonable and harassing.
Officer McGee was professional in most interactions. However, he refused to answer when Mr. LAC asked if he was being detained, which was disrespectful and unprofessional.
Everything's okay.
Okay, I'm Officer McGee with the Vineland Police Department. Just to let you know, everything is being audio and video recorded.
Likewise.
All right, we got a call. Somebody had noticed that you were sitting here for an extended period of time, so mainly we're just checking to make sure that everything's all right.
Everything's perfect.
Okay, is there a reason why you may be sitting here?
Do I have to answer any questions?
I'm just curious as to why you've been sitting here for as long as you have.
I'm going to invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence since I'm not breaking any laws.
All right, are you the registered owner of this vehicle? I have the tag, so I have a name.
I'm going to invoke my Fifth Amendment right without having a lawyer present to answer questions.
Are you in need of any assistance, sir? Any medical assistance at all?
I'm going to invoke Fifth Amendment right since I'm not breaking any laws and there's I have no lawyer present.
Okay. All right, just sit tight for me, okay?
Am I detained? Am I detained? Am I detained? Am I detained?
All auditors believe that police cannot lawfully detain anyone unless
I'm being accused of a crime. You think there's about ready to be a crime committed? Do you think there's about ready to be a crime committed?
this auditor is out for a walk.
Do you think there's about ready to be a crime committed? Then have a nice day, sir. I'm just trying to enjoy a nice walk. Thank you.
Excuse me, sir. I asked you politely for your ID.
And I refuse, sir. I don't have to give it to you.
Dinstar revokes his consent and leaves again, but Officer Walter, who also has trouble answering questions, arrives on scene.
Hello, ma'am.
Stop.
Am I being detained?
Are you being detained?
Yes, is there...
Well, over here, I'm going to talk with this officer and find out what's going on.
Are you the supervisor, ma'am?
I am Officer Walter.
What's your badge number?
Our chief of police is on his way. If you will wait right here while I get the information.
Am I being detained or...
Of why you are here. Okay, hold on just a second.
Just taking a walk, ma'am. Ma'am, I just don't trust police. I don't like to talk to them.
And that's Dinstar's right not to talk. But it brings up the general issue of investigative detention. Let's return to Mr. LAC in his parked car.
Am I detained?
Shortly after, 2 more officers appeared in the second squad car. Officer G. Capazzi asserted that Mr. LAC was detained not for any crime, but simply because of a call from a person with a restraining order in the area.
Hello, sir.
Hi. Are you familiar with the Bill of Rights?
Am I familiar with it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the First, the
First
Fourth,
Amendment,
the
freedom of
Fifth
speech.
Amendment?
Yes, are you?
Are you also familiar with the Bill of Rights?
Yep.
The First, the Fourth, the Fifth Amendment?
Yep.
I'm going to invoke my First, my Fourth, and my Fifth Amendment right now.
How about you, sir? Are you familiar with them as well?
I am very familiar with them.
So the reason why we're here, I'll tell you what it is straight up. I mean, somebody called us. They're saying you're out here, right? They're concerned because you're sitting here, and they're not sure if they have a restraining order in effect, right? So they're not sure if you're affiliated with that person or you're possibly that person. That's why we're out here. So, I mean, not to give you a hard time. Right?
Their restraining order doesn't have anything to do with me.
Okay, that's why we're just verifying. All right?
I got it, but it has nothing to do with me. I'm not doing anything illegal.
Well,
and their fears don't trump my rights.
I'm just letting you know why we're here. Because they called us, and that's why we're here.
And I'm going to re-invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent without a lawyer present from this.
Citizens do have the right not to speak to police officers, but the caveat of having a lawyer present is generally after an arrest. This police officer just provided a legitimate reason to detain Mr. LAC. An individual with a restraining order who obviously lives along this road, and it's a semi-isolated area, observes a man parked on the road nearby. A restraining order generally involves the possibility of harassment or violence. Therefore, the police have a duty to conduct an investigative detention, which is to detain somebody while determining the facts to either arrest that person or release them.
Am I being detained?
Are you being detained
yes.
right now? Yes, we're doing an investigation for a possible TRO violation.
That involves me?
We're not sure if it involves you or not yet.
So then,
that's why we're trying to figure it out right now. Don't worry. We'll figure it out.
So you're detaining me for no crime? Okay.
I'm sorry?
You're detaining me for no crime?
No, we're not. We're speaking to you. We're just trying to figure out what's going on.
No, but you said I'm detained. Speaking is one thing. Detaining is another thing. You're detaining me, right?
We're calling our supervisor. I don't know. What are you doing here, sir? Is there a reason why you're here?
Do I have to answer any questions?
Do you have to? We'll get to that. Just stand by then. Don't answer anything right now.
Regarding this allegation, according to New Jersey Criminal Justice Code, Section 2C 18(3) specifies that a restricted area must either be privately owned or posted as restricted by court order. Section 2C 18(3) also stipulates that parking on the street is not a violation unless specific factors make the behavior intrusive, such as malicious intent, parking in front of someone's house to block their access, parking on business premises causing obstruction, or playing loud music.
Mr. Narrator is showing us the shiny object and say, look this way, because he's quoting random laws out of his butt. The reason Mr. LAC is being detained at this point is his proximity to an individual who fears someone parked on the road by their house who may harm them.
Clearly, Mr. LAC never left his vehicle and violated no laws.
And once and for all, police can, C-A-N, detain someone who has violated no laws while conducting an investigation.
Yeah, I told him we're investigating a TRO, possible TRO violation.
All right. So that's the only reason why I approached you. The call was a concern about you being here and if whether or not you may be associated with that restraining order. As of right now, you're not doing anything wrong. You're parked on the side of the road. Your vehicle is registered. If you should happen to go somewhere you are not supposed to be, which may violate some sort of court order, then we will handle that situation accordingly.
Of course.
Okay?
I expect that, yes.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
The John Ligato Show is being brought to you from right outside the gates of Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune in beautiful North Carolina. If you like the show, like and subscribe.